been in Queens my whole life. So,
okay, very dope. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So growing up in Astoria, obviously I see the background. I see some Thundercats up there. So what toys did you grow up playing with?
Yeah, I grew up with, I loved like He-Man, G.I. Joe, Thundercats. Those were my main go-to toys in the 80s. I grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, man. Okay, same here. So you know, the cartoons. So those are the figures. What about the cartoons that you watched?
Yeah, I watched like everything, man. You know, those obviously. I watched like the Smurfs. You know what I mean? I
Oh yeah,
liked
heck yeah.
Looney Tunes. But I watched everything growing up. You know, I was definitely you know, on that TV a lot. So I'm big into pop culture. You know, I love pop culture. I love TV, you know, growing up, cartoons, movies.
Okay, very cool. So it sounds like we were both into the same things. You know, same era,
Yeah.
you know, same geographic location kind of deal. So okay, so what about your TV shows, not non-cartoons, TV shows that you were into, or even now?
Growing up?
You know what? Let's do both.
All right, growing up, I mean, I was into like everything, man. You know, I went through stages where I watched like retro stuff from the 50s and 60s. I would watch like Nickelodeon back then, and they would play like, you know, Mr. Ed and all these old shows that I watched, you know, like My Three Sons. I watched everything. I love the Jeffersons, Good Times, What's Happening, Brady Bunch, Different Strokes.
Yes.
Webster.
Yeah, all classics.
Yeah, I grew up with all that stuff.
So,
you know,
I mean, did you have a favorite?
Nah, and I just jumped around, man. I don't know that anything. I would say like the Jeffersons, maybe, and what's it called? All in the Family.
Ah, okay.
All in the Family, man. Archie Bunker. That was some good stuff, man.
That was. He had that recliner, you know.
Yeah, classic.
Man, that's funny.
Yeah,
wow.
And that was Queens too. He was from Queens as well.
That was Queens.
Yeah, I think so. I think that he was from Queans. Yeah.
You know, it's been so many years, but you know, wow, that's a show that I used to watch, and obviously it's been so long since I've seen an episode of it. And you brought it up. I'm like, you brought up a memory for me.
It's classic.
For sure.
They could never make that show now.
Probably
They
not.
could not get away with it.
Probably not.
Get canceled after the first episode.
That's the case for a lot of shows. A lot of shows are like that. They're different times.
Different time period, yeah.
Different times. So, all right. So, what about your like? Obviously, you had the toys, you know, that you played with and stuff. But what about a collectible? Like, are you okay? What was like the time that you say, wait a minute, this is something that I need to kind of cherish and kind of protect and save?
The first, you know, I collected comics back then, but I wasn't like a diehard. You know, I would just collect, but baseball cards were my thing growing up. So I was like really big into collecting baseball cards, me and my brothers and, you know, my friends, we would trade them. And that was the first thing that I collected.
Wow. I mean, that's obviously classic. I also, you know, same thing.
Yeah.
Baseball.
I think anyone who grew up in the 80s and loved sports, and baseball, I think, was the #1 sport back then. Anyone who grew up in the 80s, you know, baseball cards were big.
So talk to me about your team for baseball.
The Mets.
The Mets. I was going to say, it's probably
Die Hard. Yeah, right there, man.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, man. That's what's up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I grew up diehard Mets fan.
Yeah.
I was like, I think 9 years old or 8 years old when they won the World Series in '86. So I remember all that.
Fast Eddie P in the chat, also from New York. We're sitting down with Danny the Bull. Whoever, if for whatever reason someone's not subbed, go sub. A link to his YouTube channel is pinned. Where we're just getting to know a little bit more about Danny. So Danny the Bull, the name of his YouTube channel is Financial News and Views. So okay, so what, you know, through the years, we're growing up, I'm sure that there were some toys that you lost along the way, or what, for, you know, whatever reason. If you could bring back one, which one would it be?
Damn, it's a good question. I think my my original Castle Grayskull. I bought a replica. It's right there if you see it in the background. That's not a replica, that's an original, but it's gutted. It doesn't have the inside pieces, but I picked up a Castle Grayskull recently at a like a collectibles festival. But you know, that stuff. And then the one that Skeletor had, what was that called? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But those, I think those, yeah.
Dang. Oh man. But you know, even though that it's you know, it's gutted, the fact that you have it there on display, that's, you know,
yeah, it's dope. Yeah, you know, it's a classic.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. It's a classic, it's iconic. So yeah. You know, and then going back, I was curious when you mentioned baseball cards. Do you remember like the first big card that you owned?
I don't remember the first. I remember, you know, I remember the big ones though. You know, I had all the big rookie cards back then. You know, Ricky Henderson, Cal Ripken Jr., Darryl and Doc. You know, those traded cards, Topps traded. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mattingly. I had all the major stars rookie cards back then.
So you got them from buying packs, all packs, or were you into just buying singles?
Yeah, no, I did both, but I don't remember how I got them, or some of them were like passed down from my brothers. My brothers were older than me, so, you know, when they got uninterested in things, they always fell to me. Like my comic collection came from them. Like, so that's the benefit of being the youngest, was things would get passed down to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 siblings. I have an older sister and 2 older brothers. So I'm the youngest of the bunch. I was always the baby of the family.
Were they also into the similar things?
No, just one of them. The brother that's closest in age to me, he's 5 years older than me. He was into similar things. You know, he was into cards and things like this. You know, pop culture, TV, movies, music. You know.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's I have older siblings, but they were never into, they're a lot older and not into, and you know.
No, huh?
Yeah, no. I mean, there was girls and they're not into that stuff, you know. So it was like, yeah.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, you know.
You got me now, Joe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. In the very beginning, I was rushing. I forgot to mention, I always have one physical collectible that I like to share. And you know, anytime that we have an interview. So today is a Mike Tyson autograph card. And I figured, you know, since I'm pretty sure that, you know, we grew up around the same time period. And growing up, I remember watching Mike Tyson, sitting down, watching the fights with my dad. So I'm sure you probably have similar memories.
Yeah, paying $50 for a 2-second fight on pay-per-view where the replays lasted longer than the fights.
Yeah, yes. I remember I was young and I would struggle. I'm gonna stay up. And man, as you mentioned, the fights were over. Is like,
yeah.
Good times. So all right. So what superhero would you be if you could be a superhero?
Damn, I would say Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man, man. He's just cool. You know what I mean?
Is it the money or is it just?
Yeah, you know, he's a cool guy, man. Iron Man's a cool guy.
I like it.
Right? He's cool.
I like it. You know, it's he's got money. He's just he's like,
it's not
you
Iron
see,
Man, maybe Thanos, but he's a villain.
yeah, man. Everybody's gonna be hunting you down. All right. So, what about video games? Did you play video games growing up?
Yeah, of course. You know, we you know, for original Nintendo, I had every game system pretty much. I wasn't big into Sega, but you know, you know, all the Nintendo games, you know, Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, Nintendo 64 and all that. Metroid was dope back then.
Heck yeah.
F-Zero, I was a big fan of F-Zero. I don't remember that one.
Oh yeah, the racing. It was like
F-Zero was underrated.
It was like a spaceship that you raced.
It's like a hovercraft.
It was like a hover, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And that James Bond, that was dope for the multiplayer. That
was. I remember that game pretty vividly. My cousin said, I beat this game. You know, you got to give it a shot. And he lent it to me. And, you know, I remember I was like, wow, this game is amazing.
Yeah.
Any Zelda?
Yeah, I played Zelda growing up. Zelda was a little complicated, man. I didn't have the attention, but the first couple Zeldas I loved. You know, the flute, man. Remember you had to play that flute. The music was iconic. You know, it's good stuff.
What about, you know, speaking of Mike Tyson, what about
Mike Tyson's Punch Out? Yeah, hell yeah.
Man, I remember.
It was dope.
Oh, heck yeah, it was very dope. I remember putting in some serious hours in that game.
Yeah, I remember also Tecmo Bowl was the
yes.
best football game.
Yes.
And I loved RBI Baseball 2 and 3.
Okay, RBI Baseball, if I remember right, I'm pretty sure this is the game, I would put my batter like all the way down, and then I would, when the pitch would come, when the ball would come, I would go press up and swing as I'm going up. And I don't know, I felt like you would get more pop. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know. But yes, classic game.
Classics.
Absolutely. So, you know, how did you, you know, come around to amassing this whole collection? Was it just you buying, growing up with your parents giving you? And
you mean like stuff behind me, or?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yes,
so that's
stuff behind you.
This is stuff I just accumulated in my adult life because my parents threw out all my stuff. My father in particular threw everything out, man. He threw everything out. Like a lot of people, not my baseball cards, but those I didn't take very good care of. But my dad threw out all of my toys, man. I had like original Star Wars stuff that was passed down to me from my cousin, you know, from the late 70s. I had all that stuff. He tossed it all.
No.
Yeah, man. So
what you didn't do your homework? Like what?
Nah, he was just cleaning out the attic. Like he's very like neat and he doesn't like clutter. And every once in a while he goes on a kick where he declutters the house. And you know, I didn't really, you know, I went looking for them in the attic when I was, I don't know how old, and I realized they were all gone.
Oh man, that you must have been like,
I was like, yeah, I mean, at that time, what are you going to do? You know, years had passed, so.
Right. But, you know.
Did me wrong. Did me wrong.
Did you mention it to him?
Now I'm like your dad, because look at this up on eBay. You threw all this out. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. So, okay. Talk to me about movies. If you were stranded on an island and you could only watch 3 movies, which 3 movies would they be? And if there's a trilogy or what, you know, you can, that counts as one. Like,
oh, that's good. All right.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, Goodfellas, and The Godfather.
All right.
Yeah, not part 3. I'd leave that one at home. 1 and 2 I'd bring on the island. Part 3 can keep itself home.
You know, a lot of people say that.
Yeah,
you know,
Godfather 3 was weak.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, first car that you ever owned.
It was my parents' Toyota Camry that they passed down to me when I
Yes.
got my license. Yeah.
Same
No.
deal. Same deal. You know, mine was a hand-me-down. I was fortunate. I was fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that you know, the fact that I know that area so well, I have to ask. There's some really good Greek food in Astoria, but you're Italian, so
My wife is Greek.
okay. Oh wow. Okay, how funny. So, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food's Italian food. Um, my second favorite food it would be maybe Thai food, and then Spanish food. Spanish food number two, Thai food number three.
Okay. All right. All right. So, but
But yeah, Astoria's got like the best restaurants
I know,
possibly in the world.
man, Astoria is crazy.
I think so.
There
I think
was
so.
gosh, I don't remember what was the cross street, but right, it was under the L. There was a Cuban restaurant, and I'm going back quite a number of years now.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 years ago was the last time I was there. But yes, you're right. I've been to Greek restaurants over there, Italian restaurants, Cuban
Yeah.
restaurants, and it was phenomenal over in Astoria.
It's awesome because it's like it's the most diverse city in the world, you know? And
Yes,
it the food represents those different cultures. So no matter what type of food you want, it's there.
yeah, yeah. John
And it's
G.
good.
No, absolutely, absolutely. John G, welcome, welcome. We're sitting down with Danny the Bull. I've got a link to his YouTube channel. Everybody, drop a like, and also, if for whatever reason you're not subbed to Danny the Bull financial news and views, please go do so and hurry back. We're gonna, you know, we're just gonna chop it up here for a little while, get to know who he is as a person. We know him as obviously the YouTube personality here, but we want to get to know him a little bit more as a person. So, okay, all right. So the most valuable collectible. I mean, because the thing is, you've got some heat behind you. You've got some heat, and you know, I'm just curious. What if you know which one?
Yeah,
Is
it
worth
is.
the
I guess
most?
in my baseball cards, I brought them out because I figured you'd ask.
Oh yes, yes. Let's look at some baseball cards.
So yeah, I think sorry, I'm holding my phone. I don't know how good this is. We were having some tech issues, but I got this
A Willie
52
Mays.
Mays. Yeah,
A 52. Holy
52 Willie Mays PSA 2 and 2.5.
beautiful. That is a nice. That is
That's a
mucho
nice
caliente.
piece.
That's a hot card right there.
Yeah, it's kind of dope.
Yeah, that's very dope.
Then I've got this little Babe Ruth action over here.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
What the freak?
got a little Babe Ruth.
Bro, you did not prepare me for this.
Yeah,
You did not prepare me for this.
yeah, got a little
Hold
Babe
up.
Ruth, big Gambino.
Let me see the Babe Ruth again, please. Holy crap. Can I see the backside, please?
Yeah, it's a Sports Kings. It's a PSA 1, but it's pretty good. I think it should be a 2, but the coloring's pretty decent. I think it should be a 2. They gave it a 1. I picked that up. I'm super obsessive. Like that's my personality. Whenever I get into something, a hobby, I'm really, really obsessive about it. Like all day obsessive.
Okay.
So I got heavy into baseball cards for a couple of years again as an adult a couple of years ago. And you know, that's these are the results, you know.
Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
Oh wow, a 53.
That's a dope 53. Yeah, that's a 53 mantle
Bro,
right there.
bro, you are bringing out some. This is just, guys. Look at. Okay, yes, mucho caliente, Gino. Absolutely, Fast Eddie P loves it. Yes, yes. This is nice. I love this.
This is my most expensive modern card. It's the Trout 10 PSA 10 Trout that I picked up. Yeah.
Bro, it doesn't. Wow, it takes a lot for me to be speechless, and that man, that is very nice.
Yeah, those are a few of them. You know, like I said, I got really big back into the card collecting game. I've sold off some in the last. They've gone up so much. I sold off some in the last few months. I had a 54 Satchel Paige. It's a beautiful card. I sold that one off for a couple thousand, but to fund my crypto purchases.
Oh my goodness! That wow. Yes, I agree. Everybody likes what you're showing. Wow, very cool, very dope. I can't even speak right now. Okay, so obviously we see we've got some bangers, we got some high dollar collectibles. Obviously, beautiful. I have to say this is, thank you for not mentioning this because I really this was authentic surprise for me. Very nice. I love baseball cards. I love them. So this was actually a treat for me. So thank you.
Nice.
Okay. Let's talk about, and you mentioned crypto. I want to go there, but I have to ask, what collectible do you have the most sentimental value to?
Oh man, I don't know. You know what? I try to detach from them, to be honest. I try to detach because it would be probably the Babe Ruth card, just because it's so dope and it's not something that I ever really anticipated owning, Yeah. But I try to detach from them because when I fall in love with them, I just want to buy more. You know what I mean? And I can't afford to be in love with baseball cards and crypto and NFTs all at the same time. I got to take a break.
Right.
So I've been taking a break from baseball cards to focus on crypto and now, NFTs. But yeah. Right.
And the same thing with me. I've taken a break from baseball cards and comic books. So because of crypto and Veve. So let's go there. So Veve NFTs, how did you get started?
Well, through the OMI token. So I was introduced to the OMI token through, like a lot of people, through Andre Jick mentioning it, back in whenever that was, April, when he had bought it. But I didn't buy it right away because I wasn't yet into small coins. I was more focused on like Ethereum and, some of the bigger coins. But I kept it in the back of my mind because it made sense, that this was in an emerging sector. And I always like to focus on emerging sectors and try to pick who the winner's going to be. So I kept it in the back of my mind. And then I revisited it, about 8 weeks later, and the price had come down. And that's when I went down a little rabbit hole on OMI. And then I discovered Veve, but I held off, and this was a mistake. I held off on buying Veve NFTs because I know how obsessive I am. And I didn't want to start buying NFTs. And that was a mistake. So I focused only on OMI when I should have been focusing on both. But it's all good because it is what it is. You live and you learn. And I've since picked up a bunch,
okay,